You have heard me talk about emotional clutter several times on this channel, but I've never sat down and explained to you how to let go of emotional clutter. So that is what I will be doing in today's video. Hey you guys, I'm Kristen and welcome to the Gold Project. If you are new here, welcome. We hope you decide to become a part of our community by clicking that red subscribe button below. Also hit that bell notification so you are informed every time I post videos. I post videos at least 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And on this channel, we have a mission to get organized on a budget and with a plan together. So I hope you decide to click that red subscribe button and to become a part of our community and our mission. So when you are decluttering and organizing your home, emotional clutter, in my opinion, is one of the hardest things to let go of. And what am I talking about when I talk about emotional clutter? Those items that you really don't want, but for some reason you cannot let go of. You know, it could be, a gift that your grandmother gave you, or it could be one of those guilt items. Have you ever had a family member who gave you something out of their home? Really, they didn't want it, but they didn't have the heart to let go of it and donate it or sell it, so they gave it to you. But they made it appear like this was a gift and it was something worth a lot of money and it's passed down through the years, and really they didn't want to let go of it, so they gave it to you so they could sleep better at night. That is what I'm talking about. The things in our home that we don't like, but somehow we are emotionally attached to these items, or we have family members that are emotionally attached to items that we have in our home. So I'm going to give you some tips today on how I let go of emotional clutter. Now, this has definitely been a journey for me. The guilt alone, when somebody gave me something, a family member, I felt like I needed to keep it. And then it's just like I had this aha moment, like, why am I keeping stuff? If they wanted it, they would have kept it themselves. So I have some tips to help you on the road to getting rid of that emotional clutter. The first thing is you need to be in the right mindset. You guys, decluttering is a mental thing, in my opinion. If you are not in the right mindset to let go of things, do not rush the process. You want to wait and make sure that your mind is ready to let go of those items. Because if you are in this sentimental mindset and you go in there and you try to get rid of all of these items that any other time you would have just let them go without thinking, but now you're in your feelings and you're wanting to keep everything, not a good time to declutter and get rid of emotional clutter. So make sure you don't rush it and you wait for your mindset to be there. I promise it will be a more successful project if you wait until you are ready to let go of those things. Number 2 is to sort into piles. And you may wonder, why is that a tip? Because for me, I will sort when I'm decluttering, especially an emotional one. And if you've not seen my adult memory box video, definitely check that out in a card above. I did this for that video and it helped me tremendously. I had a keep pile, I had a definitely get rid of pile, and I had a maybe pile. Here's what happened with that maybe pile. The keep and the let go, super easy. That maybe pile is where the magic is. So I would move things to that maybe pile, and then as I was going through there, I'm like, I don't need that. So 99% of the things that went into that maybe pile, I ended up getting rid of. So sort into 3 piles, and I guarantee you, as you go through there and you're doing your keep and you're doing your let go and that maybe pile, the more things you put into that get rid of pile, it makes it easier for that maybe pile to move over to let go. So definitely do the 3 piles. That maybe pile, I'm telling you, your brain, it tricks it, I feel like, saying, oh, well, I still have a chance to keep those things. And then all of a sudden your brain goes, okay, I'm getting rid of that. So it was a lifesaver for me to have the maybe pile that's sitting in front of me. Now don't make sure the maybe pile you can sit there and stare at. You don't want it in another room. You want to make sure you can walk by it and stare at it, because it's going to give your brain, as you let go of things, you're going to be like, oh, I don't need that. Oh, I don't need that. It just, your brain had to prepare for it to be let go. The third tip is to remember the goal. So before you start this journey of letting go the emotional clutter, you need to have a goal. Why are you doing this in the first place? And everybody's goal is not going to be the same. So this is a personal thing that needs to take some time. You need to think about it. So for me, I want to simplify my life. You guys, me keeping that emotional clutter, the things that I really don't like, but I'm keeping because I don't really know why, because somebody gave it to me, or I might need it in the future, but I've had it and I haven't used it for 5 years. So for me, I want to simplify my life. I want even my attic to be simplified. I only want the things in my home that I love. And sometimes that means that we have to let go of things that we have had our entire life. So my goal was I want a clean home full of 0 clutter. It is a journey. It is a journey that I've been working on for several years. It is a journey that not every family member understands. I have had arguments with family members about why I can let go of things so easy. And it's not that. It's just what is important to me and what is important to them may not be the same thing. So make sure that you have a goal. So for me, I want to come in and I want to be able to spend time with my family and not continuously picking up the same things. So a simplified life was my goal. So this may be something that takes more than 5 minutes. You may have to take several days to figure out what your goal is for your house. So make sure when you get to this difficult stage that you are remembering your goal. Number 4 is very important, and it goes with everything we've already talked about, and that is do not rush the process. I've already said this one time. You guys, like I just said, this has taken me several years to do. It is not something that happens overnight, especially dealing with emotional clutter. We have to let ourselves have the time to let go of it. Just like that maybe pile I was telling you about before. Having the maybe pile lets your brain go, okay, I have a chance that I can keep this. So you let your brain kind of adjust to the concept. So do not rush it. Do not think you're going to tackle your entire attic in one day. You guys, that's really not possible. You need to make sure that you tackle a little bit at a time. Do not rush the process. Number 5 goes with basically number 4 that I was just talking about, and that is that it is okay to give yourself extra time on some items. You guys, right now while I'm filming this, I have a stack in my office of porcelain dolls. My grandmother gave these to me when I was a child. I think she got them I don't know if it was every couple months or every year for me. I have not opened them ever. But I don't know if I'm ready to let go of them. So that might actually be something that goes back in a tub and goes into my attic until I'm fully ready to address it, because I'm just not ready yet and I don't want to rush it. So if you have things that you're not ready to part with, you guys, it's okay to put it back. It's okay to revisit it later. You don't have to let go of everything. It's okay to keep some of those maybe items. Those maybe items may be a keep, or it may not be the time to let go of them. Definitely give yourself permission to come back and revisit some items. And for the porcelain dolls, they're probably going to end up going back into my attic. And the reason why is because ever since I filmed that adult memory storage video, which was a month ago, they have been sitting in my office. And a month later, I still cannot determine what I need to do with them. So they're probably going to go back in a tub, back into the attic until the time is right. I really just don't feel like right now is the time. If that's the only thing that I can't decide about, I feel like I'm winning. Number 6 is the thing that I feel like everybody needs to realize. Keeping items from loved ones that have passed away is not going to bring those loved ones back. Let me repeat that. Keeping items from loved ones who have passed away is not going to bring them back. A lot of times I feel like we keep items, and I'm not just talking about myself. You guys, I'm talking about, you know, hearing from the community, our community. I'm talking about family members. And I feel like that so many people hold on to these items, and I don't know if they can emotionally get let go because they came from so-and-so's loved one. You guys, letting go of your great-grandmother's china is not going to let go of the memory. You are still going to remember her, even if you don't have the china. If you love the china, keep it. If you don't love the china and you're just keeping it because it was your great-grandmother's, let it go. Let it go. Somebody else could use it and get so much more love out of it if you're just keeping it because it was your great-grandmother's. So you need to remember that it's not going to bring your loved one back because you keep their favorite chair. And the thing is, if you love it and that item brings you joy, keep it. But if you're keeping it because it was your grandmother's or your grandfather's, but you don't like it at all, let go of it. Because it is creating this heavy brick on your chest that you don't even realize you have until you let it go. How do I know that? Because I've experienced that several times in the past year. So it's okay to let go of your family members' items that have passed away if you don't love those items. Last tip I am going to share is basically a set of questions. These are questions you need to ask yourself when you're going through these emotional items. I have created a list that I always ask myself when I'm looking at these type of items. So the questions that I always ask myself is, do I need this item? Does it serve a purpose? Is there a reason that I'm keeping it? So do I need it? So if you have a mixing bowl that was your grandmother's and that's the only mixing bowl that you have, you don't really love it, but you don't have another mixing bowl, that bowl serves a need. So do not get rid of it. Number 2, will my life change if I let go of this item? So what does that mean? You guys, we have so many things that we hold on to that we don't even know that we have. Like the items in the attic, I can't tell you how many boxes that I'm like, I should just donate this box because I've never even opened it. Because if I open it, I might feel like that I need to keep everything inside. So letting go of those boxes in my attic does not change my life at all because I didn't even know it was in the boxes. So ask yourself, will getting rid of this change my life? Number 3, why am I keeping it? Is there a reason why you're keeping these emotional items? If you're keeping it just because it was your dad's, let it go. If it serves a purpose or you have this really deep love for the item, keep it. Only let go of what is not bringing you joy. So ask yourself, why am I keeping this item? Number 4, does it serve a purpose? So that basically goes with, do I need it? Is it serving a purpose in your life? Like the mixing bowl. If you're using it and that's the only bowl you have, it's definitely serving a purpose. So ask yourself, what is the purpose? Last but not least, I feel like is the biggest question. And it's something I even ask myself now when I'm letting go of things. Will my kids really want this? Let me repeat. Will my kids really want this? You guys, I am a huge fan of Disney things. But I should not be keeping all of the Disney things because I think my kids are really going to want them one day. No, just because something brings me joy does not mean that it's going to bring them joy. Okay? So, you guys, not everything that you have in your home your kids are going to want. My son is 6 and my daughter is 10, and I can tell you, they're not going to want probably 99% of the items that I own. And that is okay. So don't tell yourself, I am keeping this because I'm going to give it to my kids. Your kids may not want it. And as a kid myself, this has caused arguments several different times because I have had family members try to pass stuff down to me and I don't want it, and then they don't understand why I don't want it because it's not my style, because I don't have an emotional connection with it. Your kids do not want everything that you have. As a parent and then as a kid as well, it's true. You can't pass on your entire home to your kids. So just remember that. So those are my 7 tips for how to let go of emotional clutter. Emotional clutter is probably the hardest thing I feel like in the decluttering process. It has been for me. So I hope these 7 tips help you because these are the things that I'll look at when I'm going through these emotional items. Now in the comments below, I want you guys to share with us some tips you have for emotional clutter and letting go of these items. I know that I could use more tips, and I'm sure everybody else can too. So let's get a conversation going to help each other out in this decluttering journey. Share with us some tips you have for letting go of emotional clutter. So you guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you give it a big thumbs up. By giving my videos a thumbs up, it shows YouTube you're engaged and you like my content, which means they'll start suggesting it and recommending it to more people, which means our community will grow and will continue to spread positivity. Also, I hope you hit that red subscribe button to become a part of our community and our mission to get organized on a budget and with a plan together. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and until next time, bye you guys.